Hello everyone, I welcome you all in this lecture, and in this lecture I am going to talk about the concept of acid rain. Acid rain is a kind of environmental pollution that affects the air, water, land, as well as it produces deleterious effects in the living organisms. So let's discuss it in detail. The contents will be: what is acid rain? What are the possible causes of acid rain? What are the different forms of acid rain? How acid rain formation takes place, or the reactions that are involved in acid rain formation? What are the possible effects of acid rain? We will also discuss some of the examples of acid rain and how acid rain can be prevented. Now, what is acid rain? Acid rain is a kind of rain. It doesn't mean that pure acid falls from sky, but it is the contamination of the rainwater with the acids. And when that acidic or contaminated water fall on the ground, on the water bodies, then it is termed as acid rain. Here in this case, deposition of acids takes place in the atmosphere, on the land, on the water bodies. So this is also termed as acid deposition or acid precipitation. It is a type of rain in which deposition of acids takes place. So it is named as acid deposition also. In simple terms, we can also say that there the elevation of hydrogen ions takes place in the water, and so the pH of the rainwater get lower down, and when that water or acidic water falls on the water bodies, on the ground, then it is termed as acid rain, and that acidic water exerts harmful effects on the plants, animals, as well as on the infrastructure. नाउ अगर हम नॉर्मल रेन वाटर की बात करते हैं तो नॉर्मल रेन वाटर भी स्लाइटली एसिडिक होता है ड्यू टू द प्रेजेंस ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इन द एटमोसफियर. That carbon dioxide has a tendency to combine with water, and when it combines with water it forms carbonic acid, and carbonic acid is a weak acid, and due to the presence of carbonic acid in the rainwater, the pH of the rainwater is around 5.3 to 6, and this water is slightly acidic. But when strong acids like nitric acid, sulfuric acid get mixed up with the rainwater, then this is termed as acid rain. Then the pH becomes even lower than 5.3. So in the atmosphere there are sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, these pollutants are present, and when these pollutant gases combine with water, nitric acid and sulfuric acid formation takes place, and when that nitric acid and sulfuric acid mix up with the rainwater and fall with rain, then acid rain takes place. Now that acid rain may be in the wet form or in the dry form. That means acid may fall maybe in the form of rainwater, snow, fog, hail, or it can also deposit on the ground along with the dust particles. Thus acid deposition may take place in wet form as well as in the dry form. Now the different causes of acid rain are There may be natural causes, that is the natural processes leads to the formation of acid producing gases into the atmosphere, and these gases can form the acid rain. There may be anthropogenic causes may be there, that means human or human activities may also leads to the emission of nitrogen oxides and sulfur oxides into the atmosphere and can ultimately lead to acid rain. Now let's discuss these causes in detail. First one are natural causes of acid rain. First one cause is lightning. Lightning possesses enormous energy, and when that enormous energy strikes on the atmospheric nitrogen gas, as we all know that in the atmosphere nitrogen gas is present in around 78%. Okay, when that enormous energy possessing lightning strikes on the nitrogen gas that is present in the atmosphere, it generates nitrogen ions, and these nitrogen ions after combination with the water vapors leads to acid rain. Now next is volcanic emissions. Volcanic eruptions also release acid producing gases like sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, etc. And these gases produce acids after combination with the water vapors and ultimately lead to acid rain. Now next is biological processes. Biological processes, that is the processes which are going on in the living systems, both living on the land as well as in the water bodies, also generates acid producing gases, and when these acid producing gases produce acids after combination with the water vapors also leads to acid rain. Now next is the wildfires. Sometimes uncontrolled forest fires may take place, and these fires also release acid producing gases. So these are the different natural causes of acid rain. Now next are the anthropogenic causes of acid rain, that is the production of acid rain due to the human activities. Now first one are the industries. The emissions that are given out from the industries comprises sulfur and nitrogen oxides, and when these oxides combine with water vapors produce acids and ultimately leads to acid rain. Now next is coal based thermal power plants. In the coal based thermal power plants, burning of coal occurs, and that burning of coal generates sulfur and nitrogen oxides that leads to acid rain. Automobiles like car, trucks, buses also release sulfur and nitrogen oxides into the air. Next is the combustion of fossil fuels. Combustion of fossil fuels like coal, petroleum, natural gas release acid producing gases into the atmosphere and produce acid rain. Next is domestic fire. Sometimes in homes accidentally fires may take place, and these fires produce smoke, and smoke contains sulfur dioxide, and that sulfur dioxide ultimately may lead to acid rain. Now smelting of metal ores. In this process extraction of metals are carried out from their ores, and in this process sometimes the oxides of metals are heated up more than the melting point of these metals, and in this process acid producing gases are liberated like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and ultimately these gases produce acids and produce acid rain. Now the different forms of acid rain or different types of acid rain are: there are two forms of acid deposition can takes place. First one is wet deposition of acids and second one is dry deposition of acids. So this acid rain takes place in two ways. It may deposit in wet form as well as in the dry form. So let's discuss these two forms in detail. First one is wet deposition of acids. Now in the case of wet deposition of acids, wind blows the acid present in the atmosphere to the areas where weather is wet. That means from the various kinds of emissions, carbon dioxide, nitrogen dioxide may be present in the atmosphere, and when these gases combine with water vapors, this leads to the formation of acids, and these acids are ultimately present in the atmosphere. When moving air blows that acid from the atmosphere to the regions where the climate is wet, then these may fall on the ground in the form of rain, sleet, fog, snow, or mist, and ultimately it removes out the acid from the atmosphere and deposit that acid on the ground. Okay, so this is a kind of wet deposition of acids. And now what are the effects of wet deposition of acids? The falling of acids on the ground affects the plants, animals as well as the aquatic life. And water may flows from the rivers, canals to the seawater, and ultimately it can affect the marine organisms also. Now next is dry deposition of acids. Now when the acids which are present in the atmosphere uh, blows by the moving air to the dry areas, then this is termed as dry deposition of acids, because in the dry air these acids get deposited over the dust particles or on the smoke particles, and when that smoke or dust settle down on the ground or on the water bodies, then this is termed as dry deposition of acids, because it has been deposited in a dry form, in a dust or smoke form. Now what are the effects of dry deposition of acids? First one is fallen acid particles may stick to the ground as well as they can stick on the other surfaces like on the cars, houses, trees and buildings. These may produce soil infertility and they can make the ground unsuitable for growing crops. About 50% of the acidic pollutants which are present in the atmosphere, they deposit on the land in the form of dry deposit form, that is along with the dust or smoke particles. Further, these acidic pollutants may also be washed away from the earth's surface by rainstorms. Now the formation of acid rain. For the formation of acid rain, the following reactions are involved. First one is sulfur dioxide present in the atmosphere combines with the water in the presence of oxygen, and it leads to the formation of a strong acid, that is sulfuric acid H2SO4. Now second one important reaction that is involved is the combination of nitrogen dioxide with the water in the presence of oxygen, and it leads to the formation of a strong acid which is called nitric acid. And when these strong acids, sulfuric acid and nitric acid, are present in the atmosphere and deposit on the ground or on the water bodies along with the rainwater, then it leads to the formation of acid rain. Now let's discuss the effects of acid rain. First one is acid rain may produce many health issues in the animals and humans. It can produce respiratory diseases, cardiac diseases like asthma, bronchitis, etc. Now, acid rain is very much harmful to the agriculture and for growing of crops because it washes away all the nutrients which are present in the soil. It alters the composition of the soil. It adds up toxicity to the soil, so the plants which grow in such type of soil may become deficient of nutrients, and such plants are very weak, and when these plants are eaten up by the herbivores, they can also develop calcium deficiencies. Besides that, weakened trees are also become more susceptible to the diseases. So thus it affects the agriculture as well as the crops very badly. Now next one effect is when acid rain falls down on the water bodies like rivers, ponds, then there it affects the aquatic organisms. It may kill the aquatic organisms, and sometimes for their reproduction or for their development also proper pH is required, and when pH lower down, it affects their growth and development, their reproduction. Sometimes in the case of eggs, pH required is more than 5, but when it get lower down below 5, then eggs cannot hatch, and very large amount of acids in the water bodies may also reduce the level of nutrients which are present in the water bodies, and which may weaken up the aquatic organisms. Now next is acid water also causes the corrosion of water pipes, and due to that corrosion of water pipes, various heavy metals like iron, lead, copper may also uh, leach to the groundwater, and when that groundwater and from that groundwater these heavy metals may be added up into the drinking water and thus produce toxicity. Now acid rain dissolves limestone and other soft stones that may lead to erosion and destruction of the statues and buildings. Acidity can leach heavy metals like mercury out of the soil and also produce toxicity in the soil. Now let's discuss some of the examples of acid rain. First one example is the destruction effect that has been produced by the acid rain on the Taj Mahal. Taj Mahal, you all know that one of the 7 wonders of the world, and it has been very much affected by the acid rain. Actually, the city of Agra has many industries, and these industries emit sulfur oxides, nitrogen oxides into the environment, and these oxides ultimately leads to the formation of acid rain. Besides that, the people of Agra also used to uh, used use coal and wood as a domestic fuel, and these activities also add up to the acid rain, and the following reaction takes place. When calcium carbonate combines with sulfuric acid, it forms calcium sulfate, and the formation of calcium sulfate results in the corrosion of this beautiful monument. Now next one example is Statue of Liberty has also been affected by the acid rain to a large extent. Its color has been changed. It has become green in color. Actually, on the surface there is copper is present, and due to that destructive effect of acid rain over the last 30 years, that has eroded the surface of Statue of Liberty. It has caused discoloration of the air of the surface of Statue of Liberty. Now let's discuss some preventive ways by which acid rain can be prevented. First one is reduction of emission of nitrogen and sulfur oxides. The only way to prevent the acid rain is preventing the emission of nitrogen and sulfur oxides into the atmosphere, because they leads to the formation of strong acids and ultimately produce acid rain. So being responsible citizens, we all should aware about the harmful effects of acid rain, and should contribute in the reduction of release of these gases into the atmosphere. Now the various ways by which these emissions can be lowered down are: fossil fuels like coal, petroleum should not be used. Renewable sources of energy like wind energy, air energy, geothermal energy, solar energy should be used. Use low sulfur coal. Use cleaner fuels like compressed natural gas, liquefied petroleum gas, biodiesel, hydrogen, and all that. And uh, one of the temporary way is to remove the acidity of ground uh, or of the water bodies is addition of limestone or lime water, because it can neutralize the acidified lakes and soils. Now next is flue gas desulfurization. Flue gas means waste gases. Waste gases that are emitted from the power plants. When these gases are desulfurized or the sulfur dioxide is removed from them, then this is termed as flue gas desulfurization. The equipment consists of wet scrubber and a reaction tower that is equipped with a fan that extracts hot smoky stack gases from the power plant into the tower. And into the tower, lime or limestone is added up in a slurry form, and that mix up with the stack gases, and ultimately it reacts with the sulfur dioxide present in the waste gases, and ultimately remove that sulfur dioxide from the waste gases. And therefore thereafter, after this treatment, when gases are discharged from the power plant, they become devoid of sulfur dioxide and thus prevent the acid rain. Thus these are the different thus this is all about the acid rain. Thank you.